Folks, finally we can see very clearly that the demise of Pakistan has started. It is uh, doing exactly the same thing which Yugoslavia did when the country exploded from within, and that ended the country and divided it into three or four smaller countries. The same kind of religious and ethnic division is so clear now in Pakistan that there is no way this country can survive another 1 year. Mark my word, after this 27th constitution, with this low IQ journal Asim Munir has forced on civilians, is going to totally destroy Pakistan from within. And then its policies trying to please America, trying to please other countries, and thereby destroying its own country is going to be very lethal. He thinks that by starting the war with Afghanistan, he will get more American support. He must be dreaming, because America is a very smart country. It will use Pakistan, but it will not risk anything from their personal assets or their personal relationships. Attacking Afghanistan will not be approved by any Muslim country, including Saudi Arabia. And then ultimately, they will be the America will be forced not to support Pakistan in any way in war with Afghanistan, because that will create the absolute anarchy in that area. On top of that, the ISI has now started the terrorist acts in India, and they have started their own smaller terrorist group which were still alive in Kashmir and other areas of India, and that is going to annoy India to a limit that they will attack Pakistan. And this time they may call it Sindoor 2 or Sindoor 3, but it is going to be very lethal. It will be well planned, and America will not come to help Pakistan, or any other country will come to help with Pakistan. Even Saudi Arabia, who has signed a defense contract, will stay away from it. Ultimately, the end of Pakistan will see very soon, in the next maybe 6 months to 1 year, because this journal, who single handedly destroyed its own country so he can get an extension, and his other associates who do not want to allow democracy in Pakistan, and they not only stole the elections, they also sabotaged to a limit never seen in the history of this world. No one has ever seen Form 47 government where the party who won 17 elections has now the prime minister in a place where there are more than 300. And then the disallowance of the seats for women and other sections depending on the number of seats the party won, which was done by Qazi Isa, or I would say Paji Isa, has further uh, stopped any chance of any kind of satisfactory discussion, negotiation, or settlement. Because by the act of the Supreme Court, which was totally illegal, and the decision was made earlier by a panel of judges that this seats should go to PTI, because these people, all the people uh, who ran an election on the basis of PTI alliance, they deserved those seats, but they were not allowed. And Qazi Isa threatened his judges that if we don't do what government says, then there will be martial law. I mean, these judges have also been compromised to a limit which you don't see in any country of the world. I mean, in no country in the world, judges will allow to have their own feet cut, their own hands slashed. and the total judicial system destroyed. And they will keep quiet and going to the office at 9 o'clock, going home at 5 o'clock, and doing it every day and doing it without shame. I mean, these judges have become so shameless and so corrupt that they are watching the country go down in a gutter, and they are just sitting on their table and doing nothing. I mean, no Supreme Court in any civilized world or in any third world will allow this kind of thuggery. But this is happening right in our own eyes. Government is using every power, every tactic to dismantle PTI, which they are not able to. And now, when we have a new chief minister appointed by Imran Khan, they are all after him. They think that they have to kill him somewhere like they did Liaquat Ali Khan or Benazir Bhutto or other political activists. This is unbelievable. This is something nobody ever thought can happen in their wildest dream, but it is happening right in front of our eyes. And the world is watching. I mean, I blame Trump very bad decision decision of him for supporting this thug just to annoy India so that he can negotiate a better tariff arrangement with him. Otherwise, he has no love with journals. He hates even his own journals. I mean, look at the lecture he gave to 800 of his journals just a few months ago. The journals who are actually the key to the power of America. The journals who have fought so many wars for the country, who have laid their life, won two civil wars, and every conflict in the world is handled by these competent, smart, and heroic journals. But he gave them lecture. He gave them lecture to lose fate, like as if the general has to go and fight. I mean, this guy is proving to be a totally dumb president. I mean, how in the world you can support a terrorist, a journal, a dictator, a sabotager, a destroyer of the democracy, and the killer and kidnapper of the country to be a very smart person, and then thereby empower him more in the internal politics? I'm sure that he is just being used, and the time will come that he will be dished like a uh, like a rough paper or something. But the time which Pakistan has lost, the crimes committed by this guy, and the reason that he destroyed not only the democracy but everything in Pakistan is definitely going to put bad name to Trump, because he is supporting or he is betting on the losing horse. And the time we can see in the next few months is coming to an extent that there will be not even a single supporter of Asim Munir. Even we have now seen after this uh, 27 amendment, whatever this shit is called, that the people are raising their serious voices, and they are threatening these journalists of dire consequences which are going to come to him, because he thought that he could achieve the pinnacle of his career, but actually, this is the start of his downfall, because he cannot deliver. Him being in control or in power is actually going to bring Pakistani economy to a total downfall. There will not be a single dollar investment coming from outside. Scores of multinational companies have left Pakistan because there is no business. The population is growing exponentially. People are leaving in big numbers, but this guy has no brain to think that the country is going down and down and down. And it might be in history books pretty soon because India and Afghanistan, if they go in war with Pakistan, Pakistan has no choice. Afghanistan has very strong support in KP, and they have their blood relations living there, and they are all going to rise against this Punjabi journal who thinks that he is Mahmud Ghaznavi or whatever bullshit Muslim history is in India, without knowing that this time has changed. This is not 70s, 80s, or 90s, or even 2000s, that there will be a 9/11 and then Musharraf can take advantage of it. Nothing. Nothing like this is going to happen ever again. 9/11 happened because the American intelligence failed the country. Everybody knows that there were clear voices against these four terrorists who Osama bin Laden had sent to get the airplane training. And even the people in that institute told the superiors that these guys are only learning how to make a U-turn, which is very strange. When you want to learn how to fly an aeroplane, U-turn is really not something you want to learn because there is no U-turn. In plane, it's only just one way. You go straight, you don't make U-turn. Even if you have to do emergency landing, that's not a U-turn. You find an airport close by and land in emergency. But the FBI and the CIA, they all had these terrorists on their watch list, but they still got away with it. So that was the reason 9/11. But now, in the current intelligence policies and the current immigration laws, not even a chance that even a donkey can come into India, America and explode a bomb. It's not going to happen. It can never happen. And now we have no Al Qaeda. ISIS is totally shattered. Even the headquarters of ISIS, the Syria, is now to an American ally. And now they are not going to help anybody. Iraq is not going to help anybody. Saudi Arabia, of course, will not be able to do anything. So all the areas where ISIS started is already cleaned up. There will be some remnants in Afghanistan, which Taliban's are fighting for, and then of course they will not be able to put any stronghold. So ISIS is history, Al Qaeda is history. There is not going to be any attack like 9/11 in America, and there will not going to be any Pakistani general taking advantage of it. I think Trump knows it, but he thinks that he can still use these stupid journals who can sell their mother for money and for some other advantages like pressurizing India or pressurizing Saudi Arabia or pressurizing Afghanistan and other, because these journals are for sale. I mean, the American Secretary of State said long time ago, these journals will sell their mothers for money. And this is exactly what is happening. Every Pakistani journal, all the retired journals, 95% are outside. Whoever are in Pakistan, they are either exploiting, looting, plundering, and then collecting money so they can have an account overseas. And 90% of them do. Most of the journals, brigadiers, and their families are outside nationals. They send their kids to America, Europe, Australia, and open their account and then transfer all the illegal money over there because they know they're going to retire soon and thereby they can live their retired life. But the country, which has been totally destroyed by these thugs, is going to suffer. 25 million people. When the country go in absolute anarchy, you can imagine what will happen. What could imagine? What part could be part of Afghanistan? What part could be part of Iran? What part could be part of India again, like Sindh, and maybe some part of Punjab? So there's going to be an absolute disaster in this area of the world just because the Trump supported these journals who were supposed to be forced to come down. And if the Trump has not started using these generals again, this probably will be history. But for how long? I mean, the time is coming when there will be a civil war in Pakistan, and that civil war is going to totally disrupt that area. The people will be killing each other. The generals will find no refuge. This Form 47 government will all run away to Dubai, and God knows what will happen next. This is coming because the best, the most people who will suffer in Pakistan are Punjabis, the poor Punjabis. And there are 60% of them in Punjab who will suffer very heavy because they don't have any border with any country, they don't have any route to sea, they don't have any proper air passages, and they will all drown in a big pit. The total economic collapse of Pakistan is going to hurt Punjab more than any other place because the other places are used to live in poverty. Balochistan don't care. They only need 2 times food. They have no future plan. They know that these kidnappers, these killers will not let us progress. And same is the KP. They will survive on whatever they are doing now with no proper future. But the nation will suffer. And most of them, the Punjabis. The Sindhis may find some way because they have Karachi airport, they can fly out, they can go through the sea, but they will survive. Sindh has survived for hundreds of years and it will continue to do so. But the tragedy will come to Punjab. And when the Punjabis rise against these generals, they will find no refuge. They will burn their homes. They will take them to places where they have never imagined. And this is coming. But unfortunately, the Western countries who are supporting these generals are keep having a blind eye and doing nothing, which they can do. There's a time. If they want these journals to move out of the democratic process and do not destroy the constitution, which they have already did after Amendment 26 and 27, the judiciary is no more. The country is no more. And then on top of that, this thug, low IQ, Asim Munir, is making sure that he has no case against him. He is putting immunity for himself for life. Can you imagine how coward this journal is? I mean, all the journalists in the world, they have never asked anything like this because bravery is their hallmark. If they have done and do anything wrong, they face it openly. They don't hide behind immunity. But this guy is doing it. I'm sure his future will be very bad for himself and his family. And so the future of the other generals, all these corrupt corps commanders, and all this military gang who is controlling the civilians in Pakistan. Every civilian department is controlled by these thugs now, who are not even qualified to run a corner shop because they don't know what politics is. If they knew what politics is, they will not come to this limit where they control 60% of the economy, where they control 100% of the power, and then still say, oh, country is going through a very dangerous time. India is coming, so keep supporting us. Bullshit. India is coming, but this time the Pakistanis will rise against the Germans and they will support India. You will see. Time is coming. God bless.